my privilege to talk with one of the bigger, longer offensive defensive linemen in Ohio from Southern Ohio, East Liverpool High School, Mason Ludwig. And Mason, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You're a baseball player. Tell me what do you have going on right now? You got scheduled games for Wednesday and Friday?
We have a game tomorrow and Wednesday, and then I think we have one Friday too. Yes.
What position do you play?
I play first base and I pitch.
And you pitch. Okay, first base. Right-handed first baseman?
Left-handed.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah.
You hitting the ball pretty well now?
It's not been my best year swinging the bat, but it's not horrible. It definitely could be better though.
Yeah, it's good. And you're pitching too.
Yeah.
That's really good. Favorite pitch, what? Fastball or curveball?
I say probably fastball. I like blowing them on by them.
Okay, so tell me some, you find this out and tell me sometime. Backdoor slider. Find out what a backdoor slider is.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know yet, but an old veteran told me once, an old guy said, if you want to see how smart these guys are, ask them what a backdoor slider is.
Yeah.
Anyway, you playing basketball too, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, you play with your back to the basket?
Yeah.
I would think so. Now, obviously you're playing football. Tell me 3 sports. Why would you promote that?
I feel like the basketball really just keeps me in shape and helps me. I mean, they all just help, like they all just come together and bind as one, I guess I could say. And I feel like one helps with the other and the other helps with the other, and it just goes on and on.
That's really good. Do a lot of players down in your area play 2 and 3 sports?
Oh yeah, I feel like there's probably a lot of kids on my baseball team that are on my basketball team and vice versa.
Yeah. What do you play anything in the summer? Any like AAU or anything like that?
I do travel baseball in the summer, yes.
Oh, really? That's really good. That's good. Okay, let's talk about football for a minute. You're playing offensive lineman, right? What's the best thing about playing football?
I think the best thing about playing football is just being able to go out there and hit somebody every play. That's what I like the most about it.
And it's legal, right?
Yeah.
You offensive linemen are all nuts because everybody I talk to says that.
Same thing.
First thing they say, I mean, you're one of the top offensive line prospects in your class.
Mm-hmm.
And but guys, all these guys say that. Offensive linemen say, well, I just go out and hit guys and I can't get in trouble or anything like that. Okay. That's really good. What about offensive line per se? What's the toughest thing about playing offensive line?
I feel like it's the mental side is probably one of the toughest things. Like say you let a bad play happen, it's bouncing back and doing better the next play.
You got the next play up, right?
Yeah, you just got to move on and focus on the next play.
What do you have to improve on?
I need to work on my 2 biggest things that I need to work on this offseason. I have been working on are my pass set and my upper body strength.
Okay.
And keeping my body as low as I can.
Well, I will give you my opinion real fast here because I watched you twice on videos. I think that your pass pro is pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, you set up well and you don't overextend, and you're always blocking smaller guys, so you got to be quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked pretty good. You got to bend a little bit better, but that comes. I mean, you can play low. You just got to be able to work your knees a little bit more and stuff like that. And plus, you're just growing. Speaking of that, well, one more thing. When you come down and block second level, you got to learn to be under control.
Yeah.
You're extending and you're falling, but those are all very, very. You have the basics, and that's the most important thing. Plus, tell me your measurements right now.
I'm at 6'5" and I'm weighing about 265.
That's really good. Don't leave high school if you can about maybe 280. Don't
Yeah.
get up too big.
No,
Uh, I
I don't want to put on anything I don't need to put on that's not good weight.
it's good. That's really good. Then how do you find time to work out with the bars and weights and everything?
Oh yeah, it's been a little rough because I have baseball games almost every night of the week, and before that I had basketball. But I mean, I would get done with the baseball game at say 8 o'clock, and I would just head down to the our weight room and be there till probably around 10 o'clock. And
That's good. That's good. How's school going?
it's going pretty good. We're at the end of this. We're done June 1st, so we're coming up on the home stretch here.
That's good. Grades pretty good.
Yeah, my grades have been pretty good this year.
That's really good. Keep them up so you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about because you've done well so far, and I met your uncle, I think, the
Hmm.
coach, or
Correct.
he's the superintendent, isn't he?
No, my uncle is the head coach. My dad's our superintendent.
That's what it was. I messed that up. As you look back, and you've been pretty fortunate, Mason, so far. As you look back, who's been kind of an influence on you? Anybody that's kind of said, "Hey, this is what this is what you got to do. Keep, your nose clean." All those. Anybody credit that to?
Probably both of them, honestly. The two of them have been there to push me and make me do what I need to do every day. Make sure it's getting done.
How about that's good? Everything, both on the field and off the field, I would think, right?
Yes.
Okay, with that being said, anybody you kind of look up to in the pros or the colleges, any players, it doesn't have to be an idol, it's just anybody you kind of emulate or kind of watch for in games and stuff.
Mm, I really like to watch Quentin Nelson play for the Colts.
You're
Um,
right.
I feel like
He's
his hustle is just crazy.
right. He's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Are you growing now, or are you going to max out 6'5", 6'6", which is
Um,
fine? I'm
I'm
just
not really I'm not really sure. I mean, I feel like I could possibly have another inch or two in me. I mean, I'm turning 16 in 2 days, so I'm still
right.
pretty young. But I feel like there's definitely some possibility of some more growing.
That's really good. Okay, what is there? No, let's go with one more thing. What advice would you give to a freshman? We've talked about leadership with who's helped you. What would you tell a freshman? Okay, it's first week in August, hot, tired, and in your school, he probably gets some time with the varsity, doesn't he? I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
you scrimmage each other, but you're probably practicing together, things
Correct.
like that. What would you tell a freshman?
Um, I feel like the biggest thing is just to be in the weight room and just to work. Like, I feel like that's what we lack the most, especially at my school. We just don't have the kids that are working hard enough. And which
You know,
right now our freshman class is probably our hardest working class, so that's pretty good. But that's what I would say to a freshman is just to work as hard as you can and get in the weight room.
good, because they need to get it where it's almost like a part of their everyday schedule or every other day where you
Yeah,
can't miss.
yeah,
Like you're talking about, you go lift after baseball,
correct.
probably sometime during basketball season, and that's really good. Okay, what are for me, personally, I've been really lucky to accomplish a lot of things, but it's always been driven to be the best you can be. Success equals success. Humble. What are words that you live by? What are words that you live, a quotation? I mean, anything that you live by. What's your
Um,
philosophy?
I feel like being humble is probably the biggest one. I mean, I don't like people that go out there and are cocky and show it off. And I feel like just going out there and proving that you can do it is the biggest thing for me.
That's huge. That's huge. And as you're knocking somebody down on their behind, that's all you have to do. I
Yeah,
mean, you know, they know,
yeah.
they know, and so that's really good. What's with that being said? What's one you kind of answered it? I think. What's one thing that annoys you? Something like that, and something that kind of, it doesn't drive you.
Yeah.
insane, but it kind of annoys you? What would that
Um,
be?
People like that, people that put themselves out there and try to make themselves like on top of others and not really prove it and go out there and just do it.
Okay, that's really good. Uh, I have three crazy questions. Here's the first one. If you could trade places with somebody for one day, anybody, who would it be?
It's a tough one. Um, I really don't know.
I'll
Um,
come back to it.
all
I
right.
can give you another one. Okay. Is there a top? I'll give you an easy one now. Is there a top sports moment for you?
Um,
Something so far in your first 2 years that you're going to remember. Hopefully there are more, but you're going to remember this.
Probably. I mean, this one's honestly, this isn't my first 2 years of high school, but this is a travel baseball memory. Going to Cal Ripken Jr. in Maryland and playing
Oh wow!
at Cal Ripken. That's a really big memory of mine. And it was really a fun experience playing at the nice facilities there.
Is that your high school team or your traveling team?
That was my travel team.
Right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, what do you think? I think we already talked about it a little bit, but what do you think is your biggest strength now as a player, Mason? What's your biggest strength?
I feel like my run blocking is probably one of my biggest strengths. I feel like I block down pretty well as for being a tackle, going down to a guard. Um, and I feel like my lower body strength is pretty good right now and where it needs to be, and obviously can be better, but it's pretty good.
Upper body strength always takes care of itself.
Yes,
Look, if you can't run, you can't play.
correct.
I mean, and now one thing, if you look at you do get out and get that. I don't know what they call it anymore, pull or lead
Yeah.
block, and whatever. You get your hips open, and you also get turned. So those are pretty good too. And everything else, you just got to get bigger and stronger. I mean, you're only a junior, so you're going into your
Oh,
junior
yeah.
year, and like you said, you're young. So,
Mhm.
okay, here's another silly question. What talent would you like to have that you don't have, but you never will have?
Like a superhero talent, like a crazy talent.
Crazy talent, like
Um,
singing or anything, doing cartwheels.
uh, Maybe singing. I'm definitely not a good singer. I could tell you that right now.
So, well, you'd like to, but you probably won't ever be a good singer,
Oh
right?
no.
That's good. That's good. Okay, let's a couple more. In 10 years, if you don't get a chance to play in the league, in 10 years from now, what are you going to be doing? Have you
Um,
thought much about it?
I see myself working in the like basically my whole family in the school system somewhere, or even I've thought about being like a personal trainer and like owning a facility. I've always thought that'd be really cool and training athletes.
Okay, just a couple of more questions for you. Like I tell everybody, it always goes fast. Okay, what's one thing that nobody knows about you? That's my third silly question. What's one thing that nobody knows about you?
Um,
Afraid of? What are you afraid of? Nothing?
um, Snakes, definitely snakes.
Well,
That's
that's
the
good
easy.
then, Stacey. Okay, nobody knew that before. You're doing a good job. Let's talk about recruiting for just a minute. Well, how is that going?
Um, I feel like it's gone great. I mean, I know COVID's messing things up, obviously, and pushed us back farther than we wanted to be. But um, I got my first offer during my last football season. I want to say probably like week 5 or week 6. I'm not completely sure, but and then after that, it just kind of kept on rolling. And my last one's been Iowa State, obviously, and I feel like it's going to open up. I mean, it's obviously I'm talking to a lot of people I've talked to Stanford. I have it all down in here. Stanford, Ohio State, Michigan,
Okay, that's good.
Virginia, Pitt, WVU, Iowa, and Cincinnati. And I feel like a lot of doors are going to open up soon, hopefully.
One of the toughest things you're going to have to do, we talked about this before, is be able to get this camp situation straightened out.
Correct.
Make sure you get organized on that. And there are things changing every day. It seems like the college coaches tell me, but that'll
Yeah.
be one thing, and that sounds really good. And you have time to focus on that. I think the biggest thing, well, we can talk about it afterwards, but the biggest thing is with all the rule changes and transfers and all these kinds of things. But one thing for sure, your name's out there, so that helps you.
Yeah.
That helps you. Who is this guy? And by the way, just so I know your relationship with Coach Matt Campbell out at Iowa State.
Correct.
Okay, just so you know, I was out there for 2 days about 3 weeks ago. So
Really?
he and I are good friends. So
Yeah.
I'll better get that. I better cut that out. Everybody think I'm steering you toward Iowa State.
Yeah.
But I won't do that. Okay, let me ask you the last question, and you got to be honest with me. Why would I drive to East Liverpool to recruit you and to offer you? Why would I go clear there? Why would I want to see you? Why would I want to recruit you?
I feel like you've come all this way to see my leadership and my hustle. My two reasons.
And you're also 6'5". So
Correct.
what you and 255 can run. Okay,
Yeah.
so my last question to you, and I've really enjoyed this interview, Mace. What strength as a person do you have? What's your biggest strength as a person?
I feel like my leadership is big, and I feel like that's something that my town and my our sports teams struggle, and I feel like that's something that I've helped a lot with my leadership.
Good. That's really good. And if you're good enough, they'll find you.
Correct.
Trust me. You should remember that. Mason, I really appreciate the interview, and stay with me for a minute, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.